sin their political party or si këram. Su fekkee ne jàmbaar bu moo oote mu ngi si moom. Mais yeah, I sacrifice my life. Xam nga du dee xam ni mu dee waxee.
He's on vacation, but he's making a lot of news, these days, from the physical exercises, workout, to public statements. He seems to be making fun of issues, trivial issues. What do you make of the recent utterances that he is making, especially the vulture issue?
It's unfortunate that a head of state has nothing to offer the population of the Gambia other than trading jabs at opposition or at people who disagree with him. That's not leadership. I mean, respectfully, he lacks everything that has to do with leadership. He doesn't have the nitty-gritties of what a leader is supposed to be. He doesn't have the communication skills. And I wonder what his PROs are doing over there, letting this guy continue to bury himself. And I've said this over and over about President Barrow. He's already in the hole. Why does he continue to dig? If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Find a way to get out of that hole, or just zip it. Simple as that. I cannot mince my words. We are so unfortunate to have somebody we call a president who lacks the leadership skills, who lacks empathy, and who lacks the basic communication skills even to communicate to the average Gambian. Everything about Barrow is what my government did, what I did. It's all about me. We elected this person in power. He didn't come through the gun or the barrel. He was elected democratically. So he's a servant of the people. But I mean, we make our presidents become authoritarians by feeding them instead of doing things to make sure that we remind them every day that, hey, you serve us. We don't serve you. But instead, you have people who are serving him now. They sing for him, they dance for him, they fight for him, and they lie for him. So it's unfortunate that we have a president like that.
But Thomas, his supporters might argue that, well, I mean, the opposition say a lot about him, or his critics say a lot about him, that he's clueless, that, I mean, the way he speak, or his workout, I mean, a lot of things. So this is the time or moment for him also to hit back, because he's on vacation, he's free.
Well, they don't even get me started on that. If the opposition would say that, okay, yeah, because his supporters will say the opposition are saying stuff. What the people that are fighting for Barrow now, his Benka force right now, they've said worse than anybody has said to Barrow. And they're whining and dining with him now. Do I need to mention names? Momoru Sabal is there. Do you want me to play a VAR video? Momoru Sabal is there. He said this man is clueless. He's spending money. His wife is spending money. Now he's one of Barrow's advisors. The so-called, I hate to use the word, Dr. Ismaila Cisse is not even a Jalending. He's the jelly bar of this guy. He will spin around on anything that Barrow does or says and make it look good. And he was the person who sat on a national TV on so many media platforms and said he will never join Barrow because Barrow is clueless. Barrow has no idea of how to rule. Now Barrow is ruling him. So we put ourselves in these kind of situations by lying to the people when we're not at the helm of power. But once we get to a certain privileged position, we forget that history will judge us. Like the Wolofs will say, Bula Marta Hanan put it, Bupompe Ubenga Rus. You know, so these people, that's what they are doing. Government comes and goes, but the Gambia remains. Jame was there. And Jawara. Now we have Barrow. Jaliba said it best. Kunum ko fariman sanate, singate. Kunum baba Jawara. wolong Yaya Jammeh biti lola Barrow sama do fanambina.
Okay, Thomas, but the president is making political capital at places where it matters most. Remember, remember these are people who have their voters card, and they don't have the privilege that you have in terms of listening to mainstream media or international mainstream media. So for the president, talking to them matters because these are the people who will re-elect him. And these are people who will also listen to him so that he'll also tell them what he needs to tell them.
I have no issues with that because he's not supposed to be campaigning now. The campaign hasn't started yet. The IEC hasn't given the go-ahead for people to campaign, but those rules doesn't apply where we from. They will campaign anyhow they can. But what I'm saying here is, as a leader, Mr. Balde, you don't go back and forth. Leader today defante. Leader defante moy hamgalan ligayam. You see, this president here recently. I saw people praising him about where I'm from. I was born and raised. We just have a fence from my family compound, Jamekunda, and the mosque in Serakunda. That mosque have been there since God knows when. I have seen people, pundits, making political games about that. Oh, what he did is good. No, you don't use public funds for religious purpose just to benefit you. And it's unfortunate that these so-called leaders, these imams, these religious leaders, even going to the mosque, on their way to the mosque, because they don't worry about that. They worry about this 10 million that you've been given, and you want to praise sing this person. But the Christians, I'm not full of fight about how doing them si ben office politician, dila dogo dila nyan gimbal, to send church wala send yefi. And they are part of Gambians. Why don't you give the same portion of that cake to other denominations also? We have Christians, we have Ahmadians, we have non-believers. And where is this money coming from? Taxpayers' money. Because Barrow Amud Halis Bobunon Purmei Juma 10 million. And I saw somebody that I'm not going to even promote him to mention his name. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We talk about Barrow also gave Dipakuna some money, but that person is more than clueless because mom don't support Dr. Cisse Bobu Fimneka Bayana for them the dogo si Barrow. You see, these are the people that they sit there and complain about Gambia, but they are also enablers. Leadership is not about defante. Leadership is about, you know what, you talking junk about me, let me show you what I can do. Now you show me. I've made the roads better. I've made the schools better. I've made our academic performance better. I've made the hospitals better. I've made the economy better. Drug is down. Investors are coming. That's how you defend it. Not like, oh, yeah, where were you even during the impasse? You ran away. You got sworn in Senegal. So don't talk about bravery here. The only person who talk on Gambia is Halifa Sallah. So there's no bravery there.
No, why Thomas? Lolu was a big reason. Lolu moy on Sunjama because he was he went to Senegal to be sworn in.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunekon Gambia, Amud Army, Amud Ganai. So maybe Nikon don't know about Barrow. Maybe it would have been
did the people who stayed in Gambia have the army and Ganai? No, they didn't.
No, why Tambo was not in charge, Thomas? Tambo was not in charge.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it is called in English impasse, during the impasse.
Wow.
During the impasse, that's what I'm saying.
Have, by then Jammeh was still in power. Remember, January 19. So
okay, Jammeh was still in power.
January 19.
Why wasn't he not sworn in since in their political party or Sikera? So fekene jamba bumo ote mungsimo.
Wow.
Yeah. I sacrificed my life. I'm like, do they have him there? Wahe? And I'm no stranger to being detained by NIA or anything. Now you have the SSA. That's what they call them now. Muriya jame Japan ma besona ñun tal nañ suñu jobi man luma bëgg wax dama ko wax di te Barrow mënuma téré dem Gambie su ma démé ñu japp ma mom du tax ma wax Man, you're gonna kill me, but I will speak my mind and speak the truth. When it comes to bravery, this man is not brave enough to talk about anybody that we are cowards or these people mom that sacrifice the not that what has Barrow done that makes him to be so. I mean, these statements are just preposterous from a leadership like a president, somebody who calls himself a president. Instead of unifying the Gambia, now you're creating more divisive groups in the Gambia by using the words like I don't want to go even to promote and give credit to those words like vultures and stuff like that. You just don't do that.
That's too much from him.
Yeah, you just don't do that. You a leader. Come on, man. Speak with ethics.
Okay. The other aspect before we wrap up is about the political issues. The movement spearheaded by Talib Ahmed Bensouda, KM Mayor, and the issue about the controversy about whether he has resigned officially from UDP or is he waiting for UDP to expel him? And also one of his lieutenants, that is Ibrahim Adiba, also hasn't officially resigned. And his party, his movement is likely going to metamorphose to a political party. What do you make of all these issues? There's a lot of things happening in the country. Sometimes you lose track of certain things.
Yeah, well, that's why it's called politics. But what we do most of the time is not politics. It's called politricks. You try to trick your opponent and trick anybody that you can get into believe in whatever crap that you can present to them for them to put you into power. But I encourage what Talib is doing. He has every right to do it. He's a young person. So that's his own right to form any party, just like anybody else who can. So I see no reason about that. I've not seen any official documentation of a resignation letter from him or the guy from UDP who just joined him. What's his name? Is it Ibrahim?
Ibrahim Adiba.
Ibrahim Adiba, exactly. Ibrahim Adiba. So I've not seen those official letters, but I mean, it's a choice. You were with a party and you feel like maybe the party is not moving towards the direction that you want the party to move into. You have every right to move into another party, but let's do it in a mature way. I always believe in constructive criticism. If you want to criticize me and say, hey, Thomas, I feel like the way you're doing this is not right, I'll listen to you and tell you, okay, tell me how can I do it better? But if you can give me any better way of doing things rather than doing it, just keep it to yourself. So that's what is lacking now. Just because the guy was at UDP and left, now everybody want to backstab, everybody want to talk junk about them. No, at least he's done some good for them. Just like in every relationship, whether it's friendship or family. And you leave it at that. And there are certain things that you just don't. You don't wash your dirty laundry in public. You do that behind closed doors. That's how mature people do. In public, your main focus as a politician is you bring your manifesto to the people and say, hey, when I'm elected into power, this is what I will do about the economy. This is what I will do for infrastructure. This is what I will do with our Marines. This is what I will do with drug enforcement. This is what I will do with teenage pregnancy, STD, HIV. The list goes on and on and on. That's how you debate in politics. That's how you communicate in politics. Not the issue of just slandering and character defamation and all that stuff. I'm totally against that. Everybody has the right to join whatever party they want to join.
So what about the onslaught that is continuing, mostly in the public sphere, social media, openly and even behind the scenes? 2026 seems to be at the corner when the moment is already heating up.
Well, you mentioned social media. It's not truth media. It's called social media. It's for social. So if you want to base your stories on social media, social also, and that is it. Exactly. You just said it. So social media is not truth media. I mean, it's good. Social media is good in some ways, and people are using it to promote so many various things. I have nothing against it. I use it, you use it, everybody use it. But you have to make sure that social media doesn't use you. You use social media. But what we do with social media, we abuse it and misuse it in so many ways. And now with the, innovation of AI, it's getting worse. So let's just focus more on just what we can do as a nation, as a country. And I think the level of maturity is still at a low rate when it comes to the way we politics and the way we communicate. When it comes to just because I disagree with you, at the end of the day, our main focus is we are all Gambians. We all want the interests of the Gambia. It's just that you going at a different direction. I'm going at a different direction. I want to get to Banjul. Maybe I want to go by bus. You want to go by bicycle or get your baby or your rider or whatever. So we all going to the same destination. It's just that we're not going with the same traveling means. So let's argue in a very mature political way rather than this character assassination, because this has been going on since Farimang Singate, Jawara, and Jame. If I disagree with you, the first thing I will say, oh, can dalde haiki ma mom nyo bokon school ki suñ ke sahla dal anye. We just bring stupid stuff that has nothing to do with the development of the country. We don't say, oh, yeah, I disagree with Balde. Balde ne dafa dimbale UCY man li plan A, B, C la am pour youth. Plan A, B, C la am pour infrastructure. Plan A, B, C la am pour education and health, etc., etc. That's how you argue, whether it's in politics or in anything. You argue maturely. You don't argue with insults. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, how do you wrap up the issues happening in the Gambia with regard to the preparedness, the political sophistication of the Gambia? We have a lot of political contenders, and some of them are big money spenders. Do you fancy the chance that if you are in the Gambia as a media guy, you would have had a field day?
Oh yes. Oh my God. I wish. Valde. We've worked together. We in the same generation of journalism in our careers during the Jame regime. I always say the journalists in the Gambia now, they got it made. We didn't have all the access they have now. But we were on the front lines on a daily basis, risking it all. Some of us will walk on foot before we started driving our cars and stuff. So we will trek on foot, like from GPU to whatever we going.
Thomas, you stood ahead of us because some of us were quote unquote enablers. We were in the state media, and then
very brave. I wouldn't say I was ahead of you guys. No. It's just like because I was in the private sector and you guys were in the government sector. That's the only difference, because I was able to say whatever I want to say, but you guys can't say it because Jame will get you. So that was the only difference. But coming back to your question, I think 2026 is going to be the litmus test. That's the best definition. It's going to be the litmus test for every Gambian.
But you are making it nice. So why can't you run with the headline, do or die?
Yeah, it is. It is. My brother, it's I hope because for me personally, no, I'm not being nice, but personally for me, I think what disqualifies this present administration already is just the auditor's report alone disqualifies them from anything. That's just too much corruption. The 2020, the 2021, the 2023 auditor's report is more than mind-boggling. It's just too much. I've never heard of such corruption from the State House, from GRA, every sector. Not to talk about the local government commissions that is going on. That alone disqualifies these people. So if I'm an opposition, I will rally on those things. I'm not going to worry about what the president said or personal attacks. No, focus on what is going on in the economy right now. Focus on what is going on in the Gambia.
So you are now playing the role of a political strategist. Wow.
No, I could. I have every right as every Gambian to say, look, this is how you need to get to the people. And I will encourage every political party, because we have a lot. Gambia is too small, but hey, that's democracy. That's the beauty of it. But in order to reach the grassroots level, I encourage these political parties to start making their campaign in the local languages. That is how you get to the grassroots. Most people can read English, but they don't understand English.
Well, I think you are trying to hit at me indirectly.
No.
Well, some of my commenters on this channel encourage me
Right.
to go to local language. But the problem is, of course, I welcome it because, I mean, English
Right.
is not my mother tongue, or it's not our mother tongue. But again,
Bingo.
so yeah,
Exactly.
but again, if you are to go local language, it it is difficult to, I mean, take which local language are you going to take?
Oh no, it's not
Because
difficult. We have two, but we have two main languages in Gambia that everybody understands or can hear. Whether
yes.
you can speak it fluently, you understand it, and you can hear it, and that is
Okay.
Mandinka and Wolof.
Okay, so when next we have our session, I promise you we are
Mm-hmm.
going to speak in Mandinka. So on
Oh
that
yes,
note,
and Wolof, and even Fula,
and
I
Wolof.
will, I will say that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, journalist Mo Thomas, all the way from North Carolina. And I'm Ibrahim Abalde. We hope to see you another time again. Thomas is always busy, but this week I decided to get him out of his long list of travel plans and
It's always
operational
a pleasure.
strategies.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Balde.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay.